First of all, I would like to thank Natham for organizing these types of event. As my information, academician and industry persons have first time to gather in the common place for discussing different issues of the industry as well as the academics. It's my incredible pleasure to welcome you on this afternoon. Today, we have experienced industry persons and academicians on this floor. Albert Einstein said, education is not about learning of fact, but learning of the mind to think. On the early morning, different experts said, thinking is very much important. On this session, we'll discuss about classroom requirement for the solving the workplace problem. I'm joining amazing panels which include, let me welcome the panelists, Professor Dr. Mahendra Prasad Shrestha. Senior faculty MHM Natham, decades of contributions in the academics field. Let's welcome Bipin Nepal, Chief Instructor of Natham, who have 2 decades of experience of teaching in hotel management sectors. Another panelist, Mr. Abhishek Bikram Saha, General Manager of Chandragiri Hills, the young tourism product of the city. He is the graduate of Natham and the youngest General Manager award who get from the Tourism Development Corporation of India. And he also get Janasewa Sri 4th award from President of Nepal in 2017. Another, our panelist, Junu Maleku, Country Manager of Cathay Pacific, one of very few female country manager working in aviation sectors, who she have 12 years of experience in the aviation sectors. Another panelist, Digvijay Kone, Director of Gandaki International Travel and Treks, promoter of software consultancy company, and he have lots of experience in the technologies. Another young panelist, Ashish Shrestha, who is the co-founder of the Honey Guides. The Honey Guide is the tech startup company which is providing lots of information to the travelers who are traveling express regions as well as other areas. In the world of hospitality, education was begun just 127 years ago. Prior to that, there was not any formal education in hotel and hospitality sectors. If we talk about tourism, tourism education was just started in 1960. Prior to start our panel discussion, I would like to request Mr. Prachanda Man Shrestha, former CEO of the Nepal Tourism Board, for sharing his insights to the students, how students have to prepare for the dealing with changes in the industries. Please welcome, put your hand together for Prachanda Man Shrestha, former CEO of Nepal Tourism Board.
Thank you, Saraji. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In front of the eminent panelists to the topics today, I was given this opportunity. I will not go through all these formalities. I will try to go straight to the topics of today. The 3 words, academias, tourism industry, and tourism itself. What is the basic relationship and role among these 3 different faculties is very important and very critical today to be discussed. Academicians, what they do? They are the forces which consolidate knowledge in the name of education and learnings from all over the world. And in the meantime, the industry, they are for the business. Business is higher return, lower risk. That's the business. So the relationship and role of academicians towards the industry is always how these all learnings, knowledge can be applied for the purpose of business model. And in the meantime, tourism. We are all in tourism in Nepal. I think all of us are Nepalese. Is there anybody who is not Nepalese here? What we say as a Nepalese in tourism, lot of prospects, potentials, why not? But nobody seems satisfied with what we achieved. what we have done. What is the reason? The gap is there between the potentiality and the reality. The reason is there is something misnomer. Why we say Nepal do have lot of tremendous potentiality of tourism? We do have Everest, we do have Lumbini, we do have Netapola, whatnot. Nature, culture, so many things. Well, I will ask a question. Can you tell me any place, physical place in the world where there is no tourism? You can see tourism in the desert, you can see tourism in the jungle, you can see tourism in the mountains, you can see tourism in the waters everywhere. So the physical presence of any elements, whether it is mountains or monuments or desert or water, do not make any differences. The differences for tourism is how you turn all these physical elements into a product which can be sold in the market in the form of business is more important. And in that case, I always prefer to say Nepal do not have that potentiality. Because to turn all these physical elements into industrial product, you need the human resource, skill, and quality which we lack tremendously in this country. But in front of all the future generation, I have become more hopeful. You are the leading forces which are supposed to turn all these existing elements of culture and nature of this country into a sellable tourism product in the industry. That is the main challenge for the day of interface. How we bring all these academic knowledges which we gather, consolidate after so many years of effort into the industry to identify, to design, to develop as a product which can be sold in the changing dynamic market of today globally as well as locally. So if you ask tourism in Nepalese context, we have two dynamics. One is international tourism, which is more focused from the national level as a trade dynamics. How much we export, how much we import. Because trade, do have two factions, physical goods trade, which we all know always Nepal is deficit. And another is intangible trade of services, where Nepal do have tremendous potentiality, and even today, because of remittance, the country's economy is surviving. That is the trade. So tourism is one of the service trade which we do need to export to earn the foreign currency, that is for the balance of payment in terms of trade. If we talk about domestic tourism, nothing to do with the balance of payment and foreign currencies, but domestic tourism instigate the multiplier effect in creating jobs and economic alternative to the people at large at any place. So you can see in Nepal, from the highest seat to the village, rural areas, everybody asking to develop tourism. But they don't know what they want. They don't know how they are going to engage. That's where this academic and industry has to come together, joining hands, trying to streamline the national vision of tourism in this country, which may not be static all the time. It is changing. If you go through the last 50 years before, tourism status was different, and today it is different at the crossroad, and in the next 50 years, it will be a different scenario. The patterns will be changing. So the challenges for the panelists today is all these academic institutions developed in this country, more specializing on tourism and hospitality, are to be geared up in the next 50 years, how all these knowledges, learnings can be translated into applied mode of industry, whether it is the airlines industry, or it is the travel industry, or with the accommodation industry, whether you call it hospitality industry. So Nepal has experience for last 50 years, and you can tell me very clearly what we are selling in tourism today as a package, apart from adventure tourism of climbing and trekking. Yes, we are selling more than 60% a golden tour package we used to call Kathmandu, Pokhara, Chitwan. There's 7 to 10 days. Why is that? Kathmandu is the only place, because only gateway, because of only single international airport. And whoever comes here, whether they like it or not, travel operators offer them to have the half day or full day sightseeing with the 7 World Heritage Sites. Then after that, Nepal as a destination, the global market is very much renowned as a destination of the Himalayas. But in Kathmandu, they will not feel that they have been to the destination of the Himalayas. They will not feel. So the travel industry, they take them to Pokhara, 200 kilometers from Kathmandu. And Pokhara, by virtue of nature, is low altitude than Kathmandu. But from Pokhara, with the naked eyes, you can see the Himalayas with 25 kilometers. The impact is there. Once the tourists are there in Pokhara, once they check into the five-star hotels, once they open the curtain, they can see the Himalayas, whatever it may be, Everest or Matsapuri, don't matter to them. So they will say, now I am in the destination of Himalayas. Then they suddenly started to pick up the camera, and with the five-star hotel's room, they started to click the pictures. And by clicking the pictures, they would feel the coldness of that Himalayas inside the room of the five-star, which was made cold by the air conditions. That's exactly what tourism product we are selling in Nepal. They are very happy, they go back. And why Chittagong then? But if anybody who wants to have the wildlife safari, they never choose Nepal. They prefer to go to Africa. But it's a combination of 7 days. In the whole world, you cannot find, if you go to Africa, how many days you stay? Wildlife, wildlife, and wildlife. If you go to Alps in Europe, always mountains, snow, and mountains and snow. If you go to Angkor Wat, always it is culture and culture and culture. Nepal is the only destination in the whole world, within 7 to 10 days of vacation, you can feel, experience World Heritage Sites with the Himalayan ambience and the best managed wildlife safari. That is what we are selling at this point of moment. And in the future, the academicians are trying to explore the combination of different elements we do have, which the students are going to take up as a sellable business product. That's the challenge we are facing in. With these few words, I'm just getting more hopeful with the past experience of the country and the very, very energetic future generations present here. Nepal's economy is best, and only hope we do have in service export. The first example is in South Asia, the small country, the Maldives. 30 years before, Maldives don't have anything else except certain fisheries. Now, today, because of the tourism, more than 65% of the GDP contribution coming from tourism, they have been able to graduate from the status of least developed country to the developing countries. And Nepal can follow that model. And the investment is not that high. If there is business prospects, investment flows from all over the world. Once it used to be said that we don't have investment, how can we do the business? But these days, the flow of capital is global. Similarly, the flow of human resources has slowly getting to be global. If you have better skills, better learning, you can apply all these knowledge to the industry. You are sellable not only in Nepal, you are sellable everywhere in the world. If you go out of Nepal, you can see in different hospitality industry, Nepalese are working there. So the market is so broad, it is not to be limited to Nepal only. Being a Nepali, we prefer to be in Nepal, but in the meantime, sky is the limit. Your future is so bright and prosperous. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.